people. We are back. Episode, I don't know what episode it is, but we are
108.
back. A2TP podcast, episode 108.
108.
108.
Yeah.
108, and we are back, and it's your boy International Walk.
It's your girl Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest, and fly Eagles
We're
fly.
not there yet.
Oh, I didn't know we were going there.
Yeah, we're not there
but
yet.
I got on my green.
Okay, that's why she got the green on, because damn, she just like, ugh.
I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
She just like, ugh.
I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
But we are back for another episode of Act 2 the podcast, and it's your boy International Walt, and it's the co-hostess with the mostest, and we are on act2thepodcast.com. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Anchor, Spotify, and TikTok, and Twitter. I'll be tweeting sometimes too.
I gotta check you out on the tweets.
So
wait, do you tweet on Twitter or Black Twitter?
It's the same shit.
I know, I was joking.
It's the same shit. Get right to it. How are you?
I'm doing good today. I actually, mentally, I'm a 9 today. You know, I started my day off great. I realized something. I am not a morning person. Just don't like it. I mean, I'm grateful to get up every morning. I would prefer if I didn't have to get up really early. But I've learned that I enjoy morning therapy sessions.
But you don't like to get up early.
I don't, but I am motivated to get up. I'm motivated to get up for things that I really want. Like if we going somewhere, I'll be up at 4:00 in the morning for a flight.
But think about that though. You get up for the wellness of your brain, but you're not a morning person to get up to exercise.
Yeah.
And that's just as helpful, like we talked about before, with the mental and the physical.
I know, I just haven't got there yet. I
wasn't throwing shots.
No. I respect it. You're right. I mean, it is something that I want to.
When you said I'm motivated to get up because I know what it's for.
Guess what? Right now, at this point in my life, the plus has been for me to make sure that I carve exercise in my day wherever it can fit.
Right.
Then we can work on making it in the morning. Right now, I'm just making sure that I do it. Doing it in the morning, that's optimal, but I'll get there.
Well, what's the difference between afternoon therapy or evening therapy and the morning therapy?
No, I have enjoyed therapy at any time. I feel like in the morning, my mind is fresh. I haven't started work yet, so I do it before I even start work. So there's nothing else on my mind, and where, like, let's say you have a hard day. And not that when I did used to do it in the afternoon or evening, I ever didn't feel like it, but it's like you trying to organize your day so you can. It's like trying to make your way to an appointment so you don't be late, something like that. Where in the morning, it's nothing stopping you but you. You haven't started your day. Nothing else has interrupted you. You don't really have anything else on your mind. My boss called me this morning and I declined it, and that kind of distracted me, which I was annoyed about. But yeah, it's just it sets the tone for my day.
Right.
And that's what I think I like about it. Like, now, today's session was a great session. It wasn't emotional. My previous morning session, it was really emotional. I had to kind of get myself together. But that was even still good. Almost like a morning cleansing. And it set the tone for my day. Like, taking care of your... it may be akin to exercising in the morning, taking care of yourself, because when I did used to exercise in the morning when I used to go to the gym at work, I loved it. That's just you break that habit, it's hard to get back to.
And I'm sure it's akin to meditation, because when I used to, like, I've been sitting around the last couple of weeks, just now getting active, but when I was working every day, like, I would like have some time before I went in the morning where I just sat in the car quietly and like just meditate, like just sit there, radio off, car off, and just like breathe, say my affirmations in my head, and then like that would set the tone for the day. Like I would feel like I'm ready for whatever comes at me. Like if I didn't do that, I felt kind of erratic in the morning.
And I don't want to go
almost like not having a coffee.
I don't want to go too far because I know we just talking about how are you. It's weird because when I used to drive to work, you would get in my car and clown me sometimes, like, why it's so quiet. I'm not one of them, like, I'm not going to say never. I prefer to ride to work quiet for that same reason. Starting the day off with some music, it can be it can give you a different vibe, a different feeling, motivate you, especially some good gospel or something. I'm not a rap music in the morning type of girl.
Me neither. I'm not a rap in the morning type of guy.
Yeah, but I would ride to work when I did just some peace and quiet to kind of quiet my soul first and then go in. But last thing I'm going to say, exercise in the morning is good when I did it, except for yoga. It's something about yoga.
It just put you two at ease.
And it made, by midday, I'm like exhausted, tired. But
and I would say that doesn't work for me. The whole in the car part, because I'm stimulated if I'm driving. So I wait till I park to do that.
Okay, but mentally I'm a 9.
Finances,
I'm a 10. No complaints there. I'm just grateful that in this moment in our life, we're even with some with some change in our regiment, that we're good, and I appreciate that. Work is a 9.
Okay.
I'm going to say work is a 9 because I've been taking charge of my destiny.
Physicality?
Physically, I'm going to say I'm an 8.
Okay.
I'm getting to where I want to be in my groove, and I got my partner with me when I'm doing it. So we be doing it and doing it and doing it, but
nothing hurts like as far as your body. I mean your hand, but that's not.
Y'all, I'm getting old. I don't know if I'm going through some arthritic pains.
Why don't you have it on now?
Cause y'all didn't want you to clown me for the. Well, no, actually, I was I was messing with water, and then I was in the shower, so. It's hard to get in that habit, but I've been wearing this compression glove on my hand, and I got an appointment coming up. Hopefully, they get me in. I've been having some issues with my nerves, my hand, my these 2 fingers been numb for like weeks now, and now it's radiating pain. So
she old as shit.
I
man.
know this
old as fuck.
Arthritis is a sign. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there are some younger people that deal with arthritis for other reasons, but when you getting old. Arthritis, gray hairs is one thing, and then arthritis is that thing that it's like, damn, I'm getting old.
Yeah. I think you're going to be a big knuckle lady.
Don't say that. I got little hands.
But you're going to have a big knuckle lady, though.
Yeah. How are you, baby?
I'm good. I feel great.
Wait a minute. No, how are you?
I'm good.
I didn't want to start you.
Mentally, I feel good. I feel better than I did 7 days ago. So that is inspiring and also encouraging. And just like weird, because I thought I knew myself, and I would have told you like 7 days ago I feel great, but 7 days later I feel even better. So it's like, wow, I can actually feel the process.
Give me a number though.
Number, I would say 9.
Okay.
Yeah, 9. Finances, I would say is a 10. Ain't really doing nothing. Buy a little Chiba here and there.
Yeah, saving some money too, but not having to buy gas.
Ain't
and
been
all
to the
that.
candy store a lot. Work 10 because it's just a 10. I actually did some things this week. Ordered my fellas some doors, helped the guys out a little bit, so I felt included. And I appreciate them for just leaning on me to do that so I can feel included, because that's just a phone call. They can actually do that. Physicality, I would say a solid 8.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with a solid 8 for physicality. Wows and woes, ups, downs, blacks, whites.
I was gonna say we were aligned, but no, because you had a 10 for work, but I had a 9 for work.
Stops and goes, do's and don'ts.
My wow this week, the Eagles won the Super. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being presumptuous. I'm moving ahead of myself. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. But not only that, what I will say, I have, and I'm going to shut the window for a second so he can't barge in and intrude and make some smart remarks. I will tell y'all, for years, my husband's always been a football fan. Sunday during football season, he do his thing. And I make him some food, some snacks or whatever. But, I kind of come and go. And he's always said, like, I want you to be a football wife with me. I want you to watch football with me. Won't you watch the games with me? And sometimes it has held my interest. Most times it has not. And it's just like, okay, listen, buddy. Listen here, buddy. That just ain't my thing. Like, I'm not a football chick. But I realize I really do enjoy the game. The problem has been this damn red zone that he watches. I'm already not a huge TV watcher anyway, but if I'm watching something, I want to watch it. This jumping around from game to game, or you see a play and then if they miss, it switch to the next game when they're in the red zone. That ain't my thing. But the last few weeks, because it's fewer games and it's not, all these games playing at one time, and I think red zone is going down. I don't know. I have really enjoyed being a football wife with my husband, chilling, watching. He fell asleep like one or two games, and I was up like afterwards telling him like, "Babe, you should have seen." Like, I don't know all the ins and outs and the intricacies. I was with my girl Nanette. She and her family are huge Eagles fans. They go into the games and like they're huge fans. And I am a football girl. I'm an Eagles fan just because I'm from Philly, but I just like. When I say I'm a football girl, meaning I ain't no huge Eagles fan. I'm just an Eagles fan. But I enjoy the game, and I have enjoyed being a football wife with my husband. That's my wow.
Can you open it back up?
I opened the door back up.
Now that we got that shit straight. This is coming from the perspective of a girl who spent 21 years with a man who loves football. I don't have a team per se. I love the players across the league. That's who I root for. But I've asked her countless times over the years, sit down, watch a game. Even before there was a red zone.
I really didn't care.
Sit down and watch a game with me. Care about something that I care about. Let's get deeper into the situation. Care about something I care about. You want me to go to the ballet? Watch a football game.
He did go to a ballet with me.
So all I'm saying is this perspective is coming from a girl who can't follow the ball. Even when they snap the ball, can't follow the ball. So I'm slowly trying to train her into this is what this is what you do, this is why they did this is what you don't do. So
the slong pass, the slong play.
Slong?
Ain't that what a play you talk?
Sluggo?
Slant
and go?
Yeah,
sluggo. Oh, see what I mean? So I don't even have to say no more. She, made my point. But that's what that perspective is coming at. Yeah.
But I enjoy being your football
chick. The Eagles are in the
Super Bowl. They're in the Super Bowl.
I don't want to jinx it, so I'm just saying they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They're favored by 2 points. So yeah, let's root for the Eagles.
All right. So my wow.
That was your wow.
I mean my woe. I'm sorry. My woe, and I will say this, I have not watched the video, don't want to watch the video. Just another young black man killed at the hands of the police. Period. I won't get further into it. Again, I don't really have much to say because I've distanced myself purposely, but that was just a whoa, like, damn, again, like, yeah.
Yeah.
What was your wow this week?
My wow is to piggyback on what you were saying. I mean, the Eagles is in the Super Bowl, and I know just from being in the work, out in work in the construction world, it makes the city a better place. Mm-hmm. People are nicer. People hold the door at Wawa. Everybody you talk to be like, you talk to them, and at the end they be like, "Go Birds!" Everybody is tapped into what the Eagles is doing. This is truly a football town, and from all the shit we go through all year, the shootings and killings and the news and all that shit, it's good to have something to look forward to. And if they win, that's even better. I hope people don't tear the streets up, tear down signs and fall through bus stops and shit like they've been doing. But it's good to see and it's good to feel because it's actually a tangible thing. If they win, and especially now they're going to the Super Bowl, you can feel the pulse of the city of Philadelphia. Yeah,
no, I didn't look at the news, so if I'm wrong, then correct me. But I've seen a lot of videos of footage from the celebration, from them winning the NFC Championship, and it just looked like people were of course, getting a little wild, climbing on poles and stuff, but nothing crazy. I've seen.
Yeah, they took some light pole. I mean, some stop lights down, which is very dangerous, and a lot of people fell through bus depots, the bus stops.
Okay, I mean, you're getting a little rambunctious.
You're fucking up city property, that's going to be an issue.
But I mean, it could be worse. We've seen when hockey teams win championships, or even college teams where they're setting cars on fire, and then creating a bonfire and stuff like that. It wasn't
We know it can get worse, but you don't want nobody to go to jail is the whole thing.
Right, but I'm saying it didn't appear to be any violence things, which I think, of course, alcohol.
No
all
49er
those
fans
people,
got beat up or anything
no
like that.
stores got looted unnecessarily. So that was a good thing. And I didn't watch the news, but I just kind of saw clips. I seen a clip of like, you know, people in the street and the cops, like they were battling each other, dancing and stuff. Just lighthearted fun, which I thought was just really good. Like you say, that the pulse of the city. I remember when the Sixers went to the championship
with the flags.
And the car people was riding around beeping their horns.
That's something you could feel, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like you could talk to anybody and they was just like, go Sixers. Like everybody was in touch.
I remember
with the games.
winning, and we ran out on the porch, y'all. It's when I lived up the other end of 26th Street. Ran up, everybody screaming, you know, outside, and then cars riding up and down. It was just a fun time.
Blowing the horns and stuff. Like, you can feel that stuff. My woe is just tied into what we was talking about to what you were talking about in your woe, and that's Tyre Nichols. 29 years old, pulled over for reckless driving. This dude was a father to a 4-year-old son. He was a skateboarder. He was a photographer, and 5 black officers beat him to death at a traffic stop. Punched him repeatedly, kicked him repeatedly, stomped him repeatedly, tased him repeatedly, and he died from his injuries days later. How does 5 black officers do this to an unarmed black man?
You know, it's one of them things where
and she didn't watch the video. I did. So, you know, if her perspective sounds like it's light, it's because she didn't see the video.
Yeah, and that's for my own mental health. And I encourage everyone, you don't have to, hearing somebody be killed is bad enough you should have some empathy without having to witness it. I mean, you think before social media, we've been hearing about people being killed for years, and I'm sure we felt some empathy. Seeing it, you got to think what's that's doing to your mental space. So no judgment to anybody who did, but I didn't, and I won't watch it. But it just makes me think to myself.
I'm proud of you just for doing that, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. You know how things have disturbed me in the past. Just for it makes you think about where are the people that talk when we were saying Black Lives Matter and it was Blue Lives Matter, because those scenarios involve black men being killed by white officers. It lets you know that they were only yelling at Blue Lives Matter because really they wanted to say white Blue Lives Matter. They didn't really care when it's black on black officers against black men. Now, this again goes to show us that this isn't just that, like the problem here is the police, the system, and our black men, because they put on that uniform and they become one of them. And this ain't no shade or nothing negative against police officers, because I know there are. I want to believe. I'm not gonna say I know there are, because I don't know any personally, except for one partially, but I want to believe there are more good cops mentally, emotionally, spiritually than there are bad cops.
Do you get the idea of that?
Of what?
Becoming a police officer and having it be a blue wall, and you going out, you having a job where you risk your life every day, and you just banding with the people who's supposed to protect it, who do the same job. Like, do you see something wrong with that?
I do. You know what it made me think about? And this is completely different arena of life, but it made me think about that mentality that families have, where it's like you got a child molester in your family, but we don't talk about it. We protect them because that's family, and you don't want them to get in trouble, regardless of who they're hurting or what's happening in the world and those dynamics. And again, I know it's two different things, but it reminds me of that mindset, that mentality that people have, regardless of who's a part of your tribe. If your tribe, anybody in there is doing something they shouldn't do, your morality, your ethics should supersede your fellowship, whether it's familial fellowship, whether it's employment fellowship, like that should supersede that. So blue wall or not, right is right, wrong is wrong. I want to see the good cops go against the bad cops and say, I want to hear some cops speak out against, which I know won't happen, but I want to hear some cops speak out against not just these 5 black officers, against Derek Chauvin and his troop of his goof troop that killed George Floyd, and any other officers that have done this. That's what I want to hear, because then when y'all start to say not all cops are bad, well, where's the good ones? Like that blue wall, that's BS to me.
I don't have a problem with it up to a certain point. Like, I don't think no job or anything you do should compromise your morality and what you stand for. So I don't give a shit what job you have. Nothing should compromise that. So even if you're a cop, now I do understand the camaraderie and, you know, you do the same job as I do. You see the same carnage as I do. You got to deal with the same shit that I do. And when I'm in trouble and I make a call, like you're one of my brothers, you're supposed to come save me. I get all that. But like I said, nothing is supposed to break your morale or what you stand for. So she's right. Right is right and wrong is wrong. But I don't have a problem with the blue wall up to that point. When you start to turn a blind eye to shit that you know is wrong, that's when they've tapped into your morality and your faith and all that stuff and what you stand for, because they're challenging everything that you know is wrong, and now they're making it seem like it's right. Beating people up, putting drugs on people, killing people, like that kind of shit is wrong.
But and I feel like if you don't speak out against it, then you're complicit. You because that whole, I don't want to say anything, that's my and I know that blue wall
but you can't have it both ways when you say, like, in the black community, and I don't know whether this is right or wrong, but the whole snitching thing, like, some people have a conscience to just mind their business, and black people want it that way. Mind your business, don't worry about this, don't worry about that. So you know, like, what I'm talking about when I speak about that. So when you have cops that may be good cops in the force that may say, I'm just minding my business, like, it's minding their business. You can't fault them for doing the same thing that you do sometimes.
Well, but I don't think it's a matter of snitching, because we're not asking them to. The people are known, so it's not a matter of snitching, and maybe, and it's not even one. Okay, so I guess the expectation shouldn't be like, you know, kick a dog when you're down. Like, if your team member do something wrong and you come out and you want to like add fuel to the fire, but now is the time, because we've shown that black people banding together isn't going to stop this. You know, the government ain't doing anything. So maybe that is who, I'm sorry, you need some water? Maybe that's the next level. Maybe we need the cops who morally, spiritually, ethically are of sound mind, for them to determine, even if y'all don't let us know, y'all talk about it amongst yourselves, you know, what y'all can do to help stop this. Because this whole, we ain't gonna speak about it because of the blue wall, who is that helping, and how far does that extend?
It's helping them. And I'm in no way, shape, or form am I taking up for this kind of behavior. But I'm just looking at it and trying to understand. It helps them, because, again, you're talking about a person who may see something or notice something's wrong, or somebody done fudge the case or beat somebody up. And it's like, I got to throw away my career. I'm going to be the scapegoat. Like, I got to work here. So you can't just have everybody on some militant, like, I'm ready to throw everything away because I seen something wrong.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying throw everything away. I'm not saying go in there like the Black Panthers.
They may know what the ramifications is of telling, like the protocol. My name will be out. They're going to find out. This is not going to be anonymous. Like,
well, that's what I'm not saying telling anything. It's the people who did this, they're out. What I'm saying is maybe they create some sort, like how you have the Players Association. Now I know you have police unions and stuff, but I'm talking about separate from that. Some sort of camaraderie, partnership, something where they talk, like, how can we help each other, even if you don't want it, not getting somebody in trouble, but them banding together to do something to drive improvements within their
I don't think you would have to get all cops to participate, and it's a shame, but there's just some bad cops who won't participate, who will be like, fuck that. And there's some, you know, bad evil people in the world that's cops. So I don't think I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think everybody would get on board or want to like have change. Some people would just want to turn a blind eye. This is a controversial question I thought of, and it's because of like how I grew up. I grew up in the streets, and I've had run-ins with white cops and run-ins with black cops, and it's always like, you know, I got beat up by the black cops, and it seemed like they always tried harder to be mean and exert their authority on you. And I'm thinking like, because of our culture, because of the way we're conditioned, and black people get that job, and you know, a lots of times there was people who were shunned as when they were young. They get and they get this job. Do you think in this society the black cop is the worst cop?
No,
think about that.
I don't, because I
answered that really fast. Like,
no, because I thought about it. You know what I thought about? What is the good part about? I think we need the black cop because that's where that cultural connect is. Like, we need, because if it's
so
just...
what happens in his case? This is in Memphis, where it's predominantly black, 5 black officers, a black kid. So that cultural, that connection you talk about, that's where I'm saying where it's ingrained in our culture, where we get a little bit of power and we want to flex it or have like this authority over people. Like, there's people that's like that.
Yeah,
and what I'm saying is, if the system is the system and the white cops been acting like that, then when the black cops get behind that wall, they like you said, you become one of them.
But I don't want to paint them all with that brush.
I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say.
No,
so I'm just saying, is the black cop the worst cop? I'm not saying all black cops are bad.
I don't think so. I think it's horrible when this kind of situation happens at the hands of black cops, but I don't think the black cop is the worst cop. I think the good black cops are essential in our community because they know how, like, okay, when we watch First 48, you know, they know how to have those conversations on a different. It's like having a black teacher deal with a student, a disruptive student.
I couldn't think of what I was. Uncle Tom. Like, you know how black people. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it just popped back in my head when a person becomes an Uncle Tom in any profession, not just a police officer, but because you got this position, you want to show the white man that you do what he say, and you on board with what his program is, so you can keep going up the ladder.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You shit on people that you're not supposed to shit on, and I'm sure you've encountered people like that in life. I've encountered people like that, and like, we've ran into people, even if it's at a sales counter or something, like, you can feel that energy. Yeah. And it's like, what if there's cops like that?
I'm sure there are.
Get behind that wall and think.
Oh no, I'm sure there are, but I don't think that the black cop is the worst cop. I think the black cop is the best cop. To be honest, like, I feel, again, just like if you have a teacher who knows how to relate to that disruptive student, or the girl that's in school that's cursing everybody out, got a nasty attitude, and you got that one teacher that come on, like, bring your little black ass over here, like, and can have that conversation and kind of de-escalate, talk to her on a level that can help to effectuate change. I think when you have the good black cops in our community, I think those are the ones that can help to effectuate change. And that's not to say you don't have some good white cops, but I definitely think that the good black cops are essential in our community.
But how's that going, though, is what I'm saying. Like, you talk about the teachers and stuff. We just saw, it was a video out a week ago where a girl, like, beat her teacher's ass. So she gave tons of restraint to that girl, and didn't put her hands on her until the girl put her hands on her. So in those situations, it's like, you can be as calm and talk to people if you have that type of that way of dealing with stuff. But if somebody is broken and they're going to lash out, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway.
But who's to say that was and I'm not blaming the teacher for what happened, but that teacher may not be of that mentality that I'm speaking of, that can have the conversation with that girl. Just like we saw that instance, a girl that's an associate of mine, she posted a text. She's a educator. She posted a text of one of her students who had texted her and was like, "Thank you for giving me a chance to take a breather the other day." And I said, and she was like, yeah, I could tell you wasn't having a good day. I just wanted to give you a chance to cool off. And the student was like, I really appreciate you for that. So again, that's the and her caption was something like, the relationship that I built with my students is more important than anything I could ever teach them out of a textbook. That was a student who was, I guess, getting a little out of hand. She and taking a breather. Who knows? She might have said, "Go take a walk." You can go. I don't know what all of the.
She could probably just. I see the signs. Like she's about to fucking blow up.
So again, in that scenario, that just may not have been the teacher, not blaming her. But I think I don't want to say those instances are isolated incidents because we know they aren't. But I don't think they're the majority.
Though.
Yeah, I know there aren't the majority.
Between where you get that, and it should be more. I mean, that's why teachers should make more. But there should be more of people who can de-escalate a situation with their words and know what to say and talk and all that kind of stuff. There should be more of that. Have you ever seen swift justice like this?
You know what? I can't speak to that because I don't know enough of the details of when it happened versus. So
you know about how it works with. Just think about all the cases that's like this previous to what you know about what happened here. And
right, they usually get on like administrative leave first,
right. Still and then get paid. Some guys go to jail. I mean, few people go to jail. A lot of people get off, acquitted, exonerated, whatever you want to call it. So I think they were arrested 12 days later, all of them.
After
he died,
after he died,
because he was beat and then he ran off and then he died a couple days later in the hospital. But his mom, which is sad, said like when I first saw him, I knew he was dead because his throat was swollen so thick and his eyes were shut. Like that's just a fucked up image to have of your kid before you bury him. But yeah, so he died a couple days later in the hospital, and I think they were arrested maybe like 12 days later. So we've never seen white cops get arrested that fast.
At all, yeah.
And have charges on them.
And I mean,
now you have 5 black officers, again, where it's like, no matter how much you think that you are them, there'll be something that they'll show you that you're you.
This is why I say, and not, these cops were wrong. Not saying that, somebody needs to be out there defending them, but playing devil's advocate is like, where's the blue wall? Where are the Blue Lives Matter people that's coming out to help support these officers? Or again, is it only white blue lives that matter? Because not that they were dead wrong, but it's that double standard. Like, y'all want to be part of the club, but now the club has let y'all know, you're not really one of us.
And the club ain't you shouldn't want to be in that club. Like especially if you're doing that. Like they beat this kid, like stomped this kid for a traffic stop. Like I don't understand, like reckless driving, traffic stop, and he gets stomped in the face, he gets kicked in the face, he gets slammed down, he gets stood up with his hands behind his back, cuffed, with people screaming, "Give me your hands," and beat in the face and thrown back on the ground. And it's just like a sad thing to see. And he was 100 feet from his house.
Well, and this is a story I read, and I don't know how true it is. So, we'll do some additional research because I don't want to report false information. But allegedly, one of the officers took a picture of him, right?
And sent it to some girl that they both supposed to be.
So his ex and his ex's mom works at FedEx. This guy, Mr. Nichols, also worked at FedEx and supposedly was messing with the cop's ex. So I don't know if he purposely pulled this guy over knowing who he was, or if he realized who he was after the fact. But just that connection right there, and you taking a picture and sending it to this girl, I like to say, what? Look what I did.
Is plausible. Like whatever we're speculating is plausible. Yeah. The fact that you took that's not proper protocol that cops do, is to take a picture of somebody we just whooped their ass. Yeah. And I don't know what the caption. I heard that was a rumor or something that was just in the air. But with something with the caption underneath it saying like, "Look what I did to your ex," or something like that.
Oh wow!
Like so that's like such implication that you can't deny that. So if that is true, if that little scenario is true, that's truly fucked up.
Yeah. And so there was something that I heard about, and I don't want to, I don't know if she's the mayor or she holds some position, and I'm sorry, again, I've distanced myself purposely, but she held some position where, she called herself moving quickly to effectuate change to kind of stop this from happening. But behind the scenes, she was the one responsible in another city for creating this unit. I think it was called like the dog unit or the red unit or something like that, that they were purposely aggressive and known for beating on criminals or people who were suspected criminals in whatever town she was. Then she came to Memphis and implemented this similar unit
called the Scorpio unit.
Okay.
And they did the same shit.
Yeah, I think the other unit was called like Red Dog Unit or something like that. Yeah, and this was
called the Scorpio
so
unit.
It's
and
like
they did the same
she
shit.
implemented this policy, and now she's remediating the policy that she implemented to make it seem like, oh, she's making this great improvement or change, but you caused it. That's like me spilling the milk and then cleaning it up saying, I cleaned the floor.
And I think by design, law enforcement, who's ever in charge of that, the state, the city, it's by we think black cops in our neighborhoods help us because we think it's the 50s and cops walk the beat with the stick and they talk to the fucking mom and the neighbor and people sitting on the steps. Don't nobody sit on steps no more. Don't nobody sit on steps. Don't nobody sit outside. So like that type of relationship isn't there. I think it's designed when these cops are put in our neighborhoods, like it's so they're beating on us. So it doesn't look like when some shit goes wrong, it's not a white cop beating on a black kid. It's a black guy beating on a black kid. So it doesn't come off that bad. It's like they're looking into in case some shit happened.
I never thought about it in that way, and I don't know if the numbers, like, are there enough black cops to do that? I mean, because then, you still have white cops in black neighborhoods as well. I don't think it's plausible. I don't think it's, like, impossible that that's a strategy that they're employing, because I don't put nothing past the government. So, it's definitely a plausible strategy. It's sad that they're doing that. I read something that said, like, they free you and put your uniform on and put their uniform on you to hold us in bondage, something like that.
And I also don't understand, like, is it a temper thing or an impulsive thing? Because what's the benefit? Like, let's say this kid lives, like, you're the person who transports him to the jail where other people are going to be and process him. How the fuck do you explain, like, you bringing him in there and he beat the shit like that?
Well, I'm sure they do have done that often. Oh, he was trying to run, or he swung on me. Oh, So, I'm sure that, and people going to know they're lying, but they'll make up a story to go with it. But my thing...
But that happened to me, in a sense. Like, it happened to me. Like, I had a case one time where I was running from the cop. I threw a gun. They found it. They beat the shit out of me. But not to the point where you got to go to the hospital. You can't bring me down there with my arm hanging off. You got to explain this shit.
We seen videos where cops. I don't know how cops can let a dog bite you. Like that like the fact that that's legal, that you sick a dog on me. Like that is crazy. So that blows my mind. So I don't put anything past him, and I'm sure they can talk their way. Yeah, he was trying to resist, and in the midst of us putting his arm behind his back, he was struggling, and he caused his arm to break. I'm sure that has happened.
And people, that was 25 years ago. I'm speaking about. But I'm just saying, you got to explain shit like that. Like, you can't have somebody beat so bad to where they're beat to the point where they die in a couple days. How are you supposed to have them bring down there and sit in a cell? And
let me say this. The fact that it was swift justice, it bothers me in the sense that it doesn't bother me that it was swift justice for them. It bothers me that it's not swift justice for everybody. It's like the law always works the way it's supposed to when it comes to us. But when it's other people, oh, we got to go through these loopholes and tunnels and passageways.
And are we sure we can charge them? And
Yeah.
do
So
all these people get the highest charges? And these 5 black cops got the highest charge.
Yeah, so technically the law worked the way it should work for everybody. It's just a shame that it doesn't. Oh, now y'all want to uphold the law when it's men of color. But you know what's really sick in this situation? The fact that you can get 5 men, and not this, I'm not diminishing the
and a white guy. The white guy was the one who tased him.
I'm not diminishing the George Floyd situation. Not situation. That's disrespectful.
It's murder.
I'm not diminishing the George Floyd murder at all. You had one man with his knee on his neck, the other man who was also on him, holding him down, but it wasn't a situation where they were constantly beating him. So everybody was wrong in that situation. This to me is a higher level because it's like y'all were physically, like, how did you get 5 men to be aligned in doing this? Like, nobody said, nah, we need to stop. No, don't do that. No, don't kick him again. All right, y'all, that's enough. That's enough. He had enough. Like, nobody, like, all of y'all just kept going. Nobody felt like maybe we went too far. Like, that's sad that 5 grown-ass men that nobody thought to themselves, like, all right, like, he had enough, or, you know, let's stop.
I never thought about it like that, but that's crazy. Like, you've seen, like, a man get beat before, like, the Rodney King situation.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen that. But with the George Floyd thing, that shit hit home because, like, to see somebody be suffocated like that constantly, like, that shit was different for me. Like, I've seen cops beat people up. Cops beat me up years ago. But to see somebody, like, slowly be suffocated like that was different. Where it was like a new level of, damn, they can do this? Like, I didn't know they can do this. Like, I'm sure they can rough you up and put you in a paddy wagon and toss you around, but that seemed like it came with it. But they can lay you on the ground and suffocate you?
Yeah,
like,
and again, I'm not excusing anybody from that scenario.
I'm not saying you are.
Yeah, but it's plausible to think that, okay, you got this tall man. Maybe the man at the ankles didn't know exactly the extent. And he knew something was happening that shouldn't have been. But he maybe had not have known exactly the extent of what was going on at the head. But when you got a situation, we all punching, kicking, like there's no question about what's happening.
Right.
That's what I was trying to compare. Like, it's crazy. 5 of y'all, nobody thought, nah, this ain't cool. We went too far. Let's stop. Like,
that's different. That's crazy. Do you respect cops seeing what you see?
I show respect to cops for my own protection, but I don't have a respect for their profession. I wasn't trying to rhyme, but it did. So I mean, when I'm not disrespectful to cops, I'm actually, and I don't like the fact that the 1 or 2 times that I've been pulled over, actually been pulled over 3 times, and 2 times by a black cop. They were rude to me, ignorant, but they weren't like disrespectful. The white cop was nice to me, but I was nervous as hell, and I felt like, God, please don't let nothing happen to me. And I was mad that I had to feel that way. It was like, in my mind.
You was mad that you were scared.
And I called you, and it was like, and I'm thinking, should I record it? Well, my husband's on the phone. He can hear what's going on. And the cop didn't even give me a ticket or anything. Remember, I think it was my headlight or whatever it was. He didn't give me a ticket or anything, where the other 2 cops did give me tickets. But I was mad that I felt that I had to be nervous or scared in that situation. So it's like, I'm not going to be disrespectful if you're not disrespecting me. So I respect the person to protect myself, and because I'm going to respect you anyway as long as you respect me. But the profession, we hear too many negative stories, and I know it's not everybody, but the profession itself overall, you kind of see a cop and just kind of have like a negative connotation to them.
Right.
What about you?
Yeah, I respect them. And I understand I don't know why nobody would want to be a cop. I respect them, just like you said, for my safety. I haven't been pulled over a lot in my life, thank God. But, you know, as a guy who goes to work every day, like, I can't not say, like, I go out my house every day with a certain air of confidence, a certain, you know, responsibility as a man that I'm going to go do what I'm supposed to do and make it back home. But I can't say that after being in this society the last 10, 15 years and seeing how things have evolved, that I'm not scared. Like I am. There's a certain level of fear that I have when I see cops. Doesn't matter where I am. When cops get behind me, and I'm clean, I'm legit to the, you know, I'm legit. So it's like, there's still a fear there. So I can't not say that I'm not scared of cops, because I am. Like, I just don't like interactions with cops. I don't want to talk. I don't want to like just interact. I don't want to have no communication at all. And it's because of that fear. And it's because of what I see. It's because of what I know. It's because of my experiences. But so I respect what they do, you know, but the respect is only there because I fear them.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, no, I will say this.
And that was hard to say. That was hard to say.
Mm-hmm. You okay?
Yeah.
It has to be something said, and no shade, but it has to be something said about cops who commit their lives in their profession to be police officers in cities like Philadelphia. And the reason why I say no shade, because when you choose to be a cop in, like, you know, I'm just going to say Marlton, New Jersey, you know what it's hitting for. You ain't about to have to run up in no shootouts or nothing like that. But when you commit to being a police officer in a major city, there is something, you know, that I will say.
350 people were killed last year there. I'm going to go be a cop.
Yeah. I will say it's something honorable about that, if your heart is in the right place in doing that, and like you're not doing it, you know, for ill intent. There is something honorable about that, because I would not be a cop. Like, not just, I mean, it's never been a thought of mine to do that, but I don't want to be a soldier, and I respect them. Like, putting your life in danger, and I know not, you know, your life ain't in danger every single day, but it's in danger enough just by that uniform. And when you were talking, it made me have like an empathetic feeling for cops, in a sense. You think to yourself, they could just be going to Wawa, right? They stick out like a sore thumb. All eyes are on them, whether it's to say hello or, you know, to snarl at them. And it makes you think, it made me think, like, how does that make them feel to know when you walk in a room, you got people that could be thinking they want to hurt you. You got people that could be looking up to you. You got people that want to spit in your face, like that. I can't imagine how it makes them feel. And I know some of the ones who are there because they were bullied as kids, they feel like they big and bad, and they, you know, are they
now
proud.
They can tell people what to do.
Yeah, but the ones who truly are good cops, you know, it does make me have some empathy for them, to think like, damn, they could just be hurt just by simply having on their uniform and have to stop at the grocery store to bring their wife home some milk. Or a female cop who had to pick up, you know, a pack of juice boxes for her kids' lunch, just simply by having on the uniform. It sticks out like a thumb, whether you want a sore thumb or not, but it sticks out. And it just gave me a little feeling of empathy for them. Like, that ain't something that I would want to do or want to be.
No, because you walk into a room, and what your uniform says in this society is that you have power over me. And people, that doesn't sit well with people. Like, people don't want to be told what to do. People want to be helped when they're getting hurt, and they want to call the cops. That's when they want the cops to come. But I think everybody feels uneasy, not as uncomfortable or comfortable as others. But I think that's the feeling when you see cops walk in a room or you have to interact with them. It's like, in this society that I live in, you're the person who tells me what to do. You're the person who can take me to jail or tell me I did wrong.
And it's crazy because you can have a firefighter walk into the market to grab a box of juice boxes for his kids, and people are looking up to him like
he's a real freaking hero. Yeah.
And you have an officer walking in to grab juice boxes for their kid. And again, you got some people that may be looking at him like that, and they may be thinking, let me get these damn juice boxes before these kids call me one more time. They not even on duty or they're on their lunch break or something, but people still have that outlook on them.
Yeah, there's millions of interactions with cops across the country every day. And, you know, most of them are good. But, you know, the ones that are bad are really fucking bad.
Which is why they need to.
Yeah, they're really, really fucking bad. Like, people actually die. Like, it's people that's supposed to be here that's not here. Like, a Tamir Rice, like a 12-year-old that was playing in a park, you know, with a fake gun, like, and then he gets shot. Like that kid's still supposed to be here. Like, that kind of shit can't happen. And this, like, all of them, they all supposed to be here. And it's just fucked up that there's cops out there who, like, have ill intent, have malice in their heart, and are not a part of the protect and serve, you know. It's just fucked up. What have you learned?
I have learned, and this, you guys may have already known this, but I'm not ashamed to admit that there's something that I didn't know. Did you know that you can't, like, beach on a black sand beach? Mm-hmm. I did not know that. Like, I was today 42 years old when I learned that. And I kind of had clues, but it wasn't ever something that I really looked into. But someone who we love dearly just came back from a beautiful vacation. And when they mentioned that, you know, they needed another vacation to do some beaching because the beach where they were was a black sand beach, that made me think, like, wow, when I've seen pictures of people who were on black sand beaches, they weren't beaching, they just, like, kind of took pictures. So for those who don't know, what is special about black sand beaches? They're created by the gradual erosion of lava and other volcanic materials, most of which are black or dark in color. The high mineral content of black sand may give it an alluring sparkle, while the presence of iron gives the sand a dense, heavy texture.
Yeah, you can't land that shit.
Nah. It comes from eroded volcanic activity, again, such as lava, basalt rocks, and other dark-colored rocks and minerals. It's typically found on beaches near volcanic activity, like Hawaii. They're common in Hawaii, the Canary Islands, and the Aleutian Islands. Yep, so I learned that turtles, swimming, and snorkeling is allowed at a black sand beach in Honolulu Beach. That's the most famous black sand beach in Hawaii. So that's what I learned. You can't beach on a black sand beach. Didn't know that. What did you learn?
I learned what I learned is just what's tied into what we was talking about, is that the fear that I do have for law enforcement, it kind of keeps me checked to, you know, like, there's rules, there's order, and I want to make it home to my wife every day. I want to see my daughter again. Like, so those are the things that I have in my mind when I leave the house, is just make it back home. I don't want to be humiliated. I don't want to be demeaned, but my goal when I leave the house is to make it back home. So yeah, that's what I learned, is to think like that, and that kind of fear just keeps it all in check. And I think it's necessary in this society that I live in.
So you learned that?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't already know that?
Mm-mm. Oh. Why you be throwing shots?
I just be messing with you.
Wait till you have a week where you ain't learned shit.
I take my L's.
Yeah. 3 grams. Usain Bolt was his business manager took $12 million out of his account. It vanished in a Jamaican account and left him only with $12,000, and now he's suing some type of investment firm in Jamaica that they had a couple investors, like 6 or 7 of them, but they took his money.
We got pictures with Usain Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the real one, but like a real statue in Jamaica. You know what's crazy about that? Like, we don't have $12 million, But I check our bank accounts just about every day just to make sure our money is there. How do people just not be checking their account? Like, what happens? Unless you're telling me it was one swoop of a transaction. Like, how do people just allow stuff like that to happen? It's crazy. It's insane.
First off, they have to have access, which is total bullshit.
Well, yeah, because but you have people that have accountants. We learned from Fat Joe, I couldn't think of his name, that ain't the best idea. He was burnt twice by accountants.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, if that is what you do, you still should have your own access to your own money and be checking your own money. And the thing is, with suing, if that money is gone and those people go to jail and they don't have the ability to make more money, you just sued and got a lawsuit. So you're going to be getting a penny checks from prison. Like, you ain't going to get your money back.
This happened in Jamaica. I think that money gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you suing, they probably don't got it, which means you ain't getting it.
Like, that shit is, whatever they was funding, like, that shit gone. Or whatever they was using it for is gone. Like,
would you like to buy a house in Jamaica?
Yeah.
I would like to.
I would love to live there. Hell yeah.
I would love to find out how that real estate market works, but not through no investment or let nobody else be responsible for it.
It's crazy how our dreams change. When we first met, we used to always say when we get older and get established, we're going to get a shore house. Now she's talking
we
about
are going to get a shore house on the shore of Jamaica. That is a shore house on the shore of Jamaica.
Back then, we were in our 20s and implied it was Jersey.
Well, we've been exposed to new shores
and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've been exposed to
the
new shores.
International shores. Yeah. Tom Brady retires for the second time.
Wah, wah.
7 rings, the best that ever did it. Tom Ice Cold Brady. This dude is one of the top ones that ever did the football thing. And the winning thing. I've always said my top 5 athletes that I've ever seen in my lifetime win is Floyd Mayweather, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, and Serena Williams. Like, nobody has won in sports like them.
No Kobe?
I like Kobe, but he got 5 championships and he lost some. Mike never lost in the finals at all.
Okay.
So you talking about it's a different
I know Kobe
level.
was your guy, so that's
he is my guy, but he's like up underneath them. Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, don't make me.
No, that's fair. I'm not questioning the account. Yeah.
That's my Kobe over there, but y'all can't see it. But that's my Kobe over there.
I'll believe it when week 1 starts. You believe it? Like, you think he's gonna stick to it this time?
Oh God, I don't. I don't.
Yeah,
it's a shame, but I don't.
Can't get enough.
I think he'll play with San Fran next year. I do. They have a whole stacked team and they got no quarterback.
I don't believe it.
And he grew up in San Fran. All his family is in California in San Fran. Like, the only family that's not there is his kids. They're on the East Coast. They're in Tampa.
I think he wants to, for the sake of his family, but I think in his soul, he doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I think he doesn't want to. I think football is his identity. Like, you think, first of all, and this is another thing. I don't know if y'all knew this about Tom Brady. He was like the sixth round pick. So it wasn't like
6th round last pick.
And don't get me wrong, he turned out to be great, but he must not have been that great in college.
This is what makes his greatness, because he wasn't born with God-given talent like Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson or LeBron James. He didn't have a gift. He made himself that good by hard work, dedication. Like, he practiced and had that Mamba mentality of, I'm going to just throw myself into my sport, and this is all I care about every day, all day, and I will be a winner. And some people would call that manifestation, but it's a ton of fucking hard work.
I was going to say, he didn't just manifest that.
No.
He worked for that.
No, he thought about it and manifested it, and then he did what he had to do to bring it to life. And
that's why I think for him, he still has that chip on his shoulder. And I think if he would have won the Super Bowl this year, that may have been more leaning towards he's retiring. But I don't think he can go out that way.
He played 23 seasons in the NFL, and this is the only losing season he's ever had. and this is how he's leaving.
He played 23 seasons?
23 seasons.
Wow, I didn't know that.
23. He's 45 years old.
Yeah, I just didn't know he played 23 seasons.
Yeah, he played 23 seasons.
Jesus, that is a long time.
How did you not know that?
I don't know. Like,
it's always on the ticker under his name.
Is he the longest active player right now?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a long time.
Well, he retired, so he's now no longer active.
I don't think he's... Well, but is 23 seasons the longest time somebody has played?
Yeah, I think a kicker played 24 seasons. Like Adam Vinatieri. He might have played 24 seasons. Yeah,
I don't think he's going to... Just because of that chip on his shoulder, going 6th round, proving to everybody who he was, I don't think he's going to go out like... Yeah, and I don't think, unfortunately, his family is going to be the impetus for him to retire. Like, I just don't think it is. I think he's going to be back next year. Or next season.
I do too. Props to Tom Brady though. You had a hell of a career. I saw you play every play, and it was a marvel just to see you play. So I hope he does come back. I don't want to see him look like shit, but I hope he does come back. Last Graham, you can speak to this. Beyonce.
Woo woo!
She's let our tour dates out, and she's going on tour this summer. I haven't heard any songs that I would like to hear at a concert, but I like Beyonce. But you won't break my soul. Like I wouldn't. That's not a song I would want to hear. Like
the album. So I will.
Yeah, I want to hear the album to see.
No,
the rest
being
of
transparent. When Break My Soul first came out, it didn't break my soul. But when I heard the album and just the collaboration of all the songs and how they melted, the album was a production.
Is there more songs, or is that it?
I play that album all. Yes, there are. It's an album. You've heard me play it multiple times. You just probably didn't realize. And we talked about the song Church Girl.
I know some songs. Yeah, I know a few songs. I don't know the bulk of the songs, but I know a few of them when you play.
I know them all. But yeah, so that's the album. So the Renaissance tour kicking off. You know what I thought was strange?
But ain't no slaps on there. Ain't no.
Oh, it's definitely slaps.
Okay.
Cuff It. Like there's definitely slaps on there.
I know she's gonna play her other slaps at the show. Like she's gonna have a set list,
Alien Superstar.
Yeah.
Church Girl.
Okay.
You know what I thought was
Break My Soul. I'm not. I gotta tell you, I'm not happy with the. I get into
Break My Soul when it comes on in the album because of where it is. It ain't my favorite. I will say that it ain't my favorite on the album, but that album, I love it. Do you know what I thought was interesting when I was looking at her the tour dates? I was looking, so I was trying to think of somewhere not exotic, but I wanted to like make a production of the show for us, not like, I want to see the show and I want to maybe get a vacation at the same time. So we were looking at different options, different show dates. I wonder why she doesn't have any dates in Africa.
Because that's an international tour.
This is an international tour. When you look at the dates, London, Paris, Denmark, Netherlands, Poland,
that might be the first
Spain.
Might be they know they do legs.
And then she comes to Canada, and then she does the U.S. Nothing on, and then the last next to the last is Houston. That's September 23rd, and then the last show is New Orleans, which I think is like September 25th. So yeah, maybe she's gonna take a break and then resume after that. But I was just looking like, wow, I wonder why nothing. But you're right, because there's nothing in Asia and nothing in Africa. So maybe she's gonna come back. Yeah, maybe she's gonna come back for that. And so the way, and I don't know if this was prompted by the whole Taylor Swift debacle with Ticketmaster. So she created this system in order to get tickets. You register, and then like they notify you when it's time. So there's like an order of preference. If you're a Citibank card holder, if you're a Beehive member, which I've registered for 2 locations, about to register for a 3rd. And then there was like a general population registration, for lack of better words. So I think the Citibank card holders, it must have been released already, because I seen seats for Philadelphia at the link. You want to know what the price is for the nosebleeds at the link? Just give me a number.
The nosebleeds, Beyonce, Renaissance tour, $1,500. Nah,
I didn't see that. Like $890. But again, these are resale. This ain't her prices. So I haven't seen the original prices yet because I think only the Citibank card holders have been able to purchase at the face value. So this is just a resale. The nosebleed starting at $898-ish is what I saw. Nosebleeds.
So what the floor cost?
So the floor, one section I saw was like $15.40, a basic floor seat. Mm-hmm. But then she has this circle in the middle, which that I was thinking like, wow, that'd be awesome. It's called Club Renaissance. So I think it's going to be like a little club feel down there. It's on the floor, like right at the stage. Give me a number.
How much they cost?
Just give me a number. Now this is
$3,000.
They had a ticket up there, $11,800 something.
Wow.
But again, resale. So I'm waiting to see when the non-resale tickets are released, which February 19th it said.
If there's 67,000 people in the lake, there will be I would think a little more than half of the tickets will be bought by bots, and the other half will go on sale.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
11,000.
They'll be because you'll have to buy those tickets from the StubHubs, the
Ticket Center. That's where I seen them at Tickets-Center. I was like $898 for nosebleeds. $15.40 for floor seat. I'm not going to even like lie. Like that's expected.
But you're gonna have to go to event tickets and Vivid, and like all they're gonna have all that. Shit.
But yeah, I would. But 11,000. Club Renaissance is where I want to be, but 11,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nah.
Nope. We will be there though. That's our girl. So we will be in the building somewhere, whether it be in Philly or another state, but we definitely
or another country.
Yeah, we definitely going. That's it. Let's do a wrap.
We'll take y'all with us when we go.
A2TP Podcast, episode 108, wrapping up. A2TPodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, Breaker, Anchor, Spotify, Twitter, TikTok. What else?
Radio Public.
Spotify, Radio Public. Bam. YouTube. Bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
International Walk.
Your girl Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
If y'all fuck with us, y'all fuck with us. If y'all don't, y'all should.
Wait, who are you?
International Walk.
And point to me. Your girl Tosh.
Oh my God. Peace.